Hello and thanks for joining us on the news on NTA International. I am Dennis Adegunloye. Thanks for joining us. Let's bring you the headlines. Over Palestinian militant attacks as world leaders appeal for de-escalation of tensions. Nigerian-American curators partner on modern methods of restoring national heritage. And federal governments to rejig NPower to employ 5 million young Nigerians in 5 years. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has held a security meeting with senior officials involving the heads of the country's key security agencies. The meeting is coming after Palestinian militants launched an attack against Israel on Saturday, escalating tensions in the region. Adebola Brooksland reports.
Israeli Prime Minister's meeting at the military headquarters in Tel Aviv with senior officials and heads of the country's key security agencies is aimed at assessing the security situation surrounding the Gaza Strip and the conflicts between Israel and Hamas militants. In the meantime, world leaders have been reacting to the unprecedented multi-front attack on Israel by the militant Hamas rulers of the Gaza Strip. President Joe Biden said the U.S. support for Israel is rock solid and unwavering, adding that it stands with Israel.
We grieve with those who've lost their loved ones, lost a piece of their soul. We have hope for swift recovery for many who have been wounded.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Israel's right to self-defense cannot be questioned and extended his condolences to all who lost family members and friends in the terrorist attack.
Premierminister Benjamin Netanyahu telefoniert.
There were similar messages and call for immediate ceasefire from Germany, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and the United Nations, which called for an immediate halt to fighting in Israel and the Gaza Strip. The UN's human rights chief Volker Turk said he is deeply concerned with reports that Israeli civilians have been taken hostage. Meanwhile, an Egyptian policeman who opened fire on Israeli tourists in the Mediterranean city has been detained while security forces quickly cordoned off the site of the attack. Reports say close ties to Egyptian security agencies quoted an unidentified security official as saying that another person was wounded in the attack, which took place at the Pompey Pillar site in Alexandria, while Israeli Zaka Rescue Service reported that 2 people were killed in Alexandria. Sunday's attack came as Israel was battling Palestinian militants after a major incursion from Gaza. Egypt made peace with Israel decades ago and has long served as a mediator in the Israeli-Palestinian conflicts. However, anti-Israel sentiments runs high in the country, especially during bouts of violence. Adebola Brooksland, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the United Nations Security Council is currently holding an emergency closed-door meeting on the Gaza-Israel conflict. We'll bring you details as they unfold. Niger has cut its planned spending for 2023 by 40% because of international sanctions imposed after the military took power in a July coup. The junta said in a televised message that the year's budget, initially forecast at 3.29 trillion CFA francs or $5.3 billion, was slashed to 1.98 trillion, the statement said, without detailing where the cuts would fall. The takeover prompted condemnation from the regional bloc ECOWAS, the European Union, and the United States, who imposed sanctions, froze assets, and halted aid. The trade blockade inflated the price of food and created a shortage of vital goods, including life-saving medicines. Niger is the world's 7th biggest producer of uranium the radioactive metal widely used for nuclear energy and treating cancer. It is also beset by poverty and long-running insecurity caused by violent Islamist groups, so hugely dependent on aid. According to its original projections, around 40% of the 2023 budget was expected to come from external partners. The death toll from a series of earthquakes in western Afghanistan rose on Sunday to more than 2,000 as rescuers scrabbled for survivors among the ruins of razed villages. Saturday's magnitude 6.3 quake, followed by 8 strong aftershocks, jolted hard to reach areas 30 kilometers northwest of the provincial capital of Herat, toppling rural homes and sending panicked city dwellers into the streets. Dozens of homes were ruined near the epicenter of the quakes, which shook the area for more than 5 hours. Men shoveled through piles of crumbled masonry as women and children waited in the open, with gutted homes showing personal belongings flapping in the harsh winds. A partnership between the American consul in Lagos and the nation's National Commission for Museums and Monuments has resulted in a workshop geared towards using modern, scientific, indeed local methods in the restoration of the nation's heritage that need restorative attention. Lanre Beleyi was at the program marking the end of the workshop and brings us details.
Have been participating in the workshop since last year on the practical conservation initiative for the nation's curators using modern methods.
The unique thing and the major thing about this training we have done is not just that we learned about new techniques, but the conservators from University of Yale, they came with their materials and tools, and we compared it with the ones we use here in Nigeria as conservators, bearing sustainability in mind, because what worked for them there may not work for us here in Nigeria.
We're opening an exhibition which celebrates the work of different conservators. We have been working through workshops over the past year to restore and conserve these objects that have sat in the storage for many years, and the hope is that through these techniques, objects like it across Nigeria can be preserved for many generations to come.
The Director General of National Commission for Museum and Monuments, Abba Tijani, expressed satisfaction with the partnership which birthed the workshop and expressed confidence that the knowledge garnered will cascade to other curators across the country.
The importance of having this kind of training and workshop here in Nigeria so that our conservators can learn from the materials that are on ground.
The program was about developing capacity, both capacity for Nigerian conservators and artists and Americans, because they can take the learnings they brought to America, back home to America from Nigeria and vice versa. And it's part of our larger outreach to the Ambassadors Fund for Cultural Preservation.
An exhibition of artifacts restored during the workshop was opened to the public. In Lagos, Lanre Beleyi, NTA.
The Nigerian Army has commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his strategic support and guidance to the military. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, gave the commendation in a message to the 2023 Nigerian Army Intelligence Corps Seminar on sniffing out and combating complex security threats.
Pressure continues to mount on security agencies to scale up efforts in containing security threats. For the Nigerian Army Intelligence Corps, being preemptive is key in tackling insecurity. This forum is meant to keep troops of the Intelligence Corps on their toes.
I wish to convey my sincere gratitude to President Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for his strategic guidance and unwavering support to the Nigerian Army. The seminar is one of the major training activities lined up for this year and is designed to enhance the Intelligence Corps capability to provide optimum intelligence in support of the Nigerian Army operations.
Security issues are constantly evolving, throwing up new challenges.
This seminar is designed to equip the personnel of Nigerian Army Intelligence Corps and indeed Nigerian Army officers and others with the needed skills and mindset to better address wicked problems. By wicked problems, we mean those problems that do not lend themselves to easy solutions. Oftentimes, the solutions you throw at these problems soon become problems in and of themselves. And this is especially important with the changing nature and character of threats to national security and military security in particular.
The Army authorities are optimistic that with training like this, operations will improve for a stable and secure environment. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
The federal government wants to propel the country to new heights of innovation and technological advancement. To achieve this, Executive Order Number 5 will be deployed to develop and promote local content, a move the Minister of Science and Technology, as well as Innovation, says aligns with the 8-point renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu. Justin Bem-Unyi reports.
Like when Dangote was doing his refinery, the welders that were used all came from either India or Pakistan or any other country, because we don't have ISO certified welders, So we are losing that income. We are losing those jobs.
This is one area of concern for the Nigerian government. Local content is not fully harnessed, developed and promoted. However, the government is determined to bolster the economy, create jobs, reduce poverty and usher in a brighter future for Nigeria. And the magic wand for the Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology is Executive Order Number 5, which government wants to deploy to address the challenges by providing support for made-in-Nigeria goods and services, development of homegrown capabilities, and the capacity to maintain, redesign, reproduce, rededicate, and duplicate infrastructure built in Nigeria for self-reliance and development. This drive to industrialize explains the federal government's push for establishment of 6 centers to train indigenous welders to international standards, one each in the geopolitical zones of the country, who will be ISO certified.
So that is why, in the wisdom of our president, he has asked that we do everything in line with renewed hope agenda, that we do everything to make sure that those centers are established so that our people will get certification, will get the training needed and get certification from international bodies to upgrade them to international standard. That way we are not going to be importing labor like we are doing today. We will have labor in abundance to service all those welding work.
That the Presidential Executive Order Number 5 has introduced what is called domestic firm.
The Executive Order Number 5 also seeks to closely monitor and promote the capacity of Nigerian professionals and contractors in science, engineering and technological programs to compete favorably with their counterparts globally. In the meantime, there is a Strategic Implementation Task Office of the Executive Order with the mandate of operationalizing these objectives with its Presidential Monitoring and Evaluation Council. Justin Bem-Unyi, NTA News.
Director General of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Mustafa Habib Ahmed, has directed state emergency management agencies to immediately activate disaster management response units to tackle possible flooding following the release of water from the Lagdo Dam in Cameroon. Ilyasu Yakubu reports.
The Cameroonian authorities commenced the release of water from the Lagdo Dam on the 4th of October 2023. Affected communities in Adamawa, Taraba, Benue, Kogi, Niger, Nasarawa, Anambra, Bayelsa and Imo State. DG NEMA said the agency has since deployed its search and rescue officers to the affected areas for possible evacuation.
The update from NEMA is that the agency has been alerted on the sudden increase inundation of riparian communities and farmlands along the banks of River Niger in Adamawa, Taraba, and Benue states in the past 48 hours. The sudden situation is attributed to the rapid release of waters from Lagdo Dam in the Republic of Cameroon and has resulted in the displacement of several inhabitants of the affected communities.
This is the second time Lagdo Dam in Cameroon is releasing water this year, and NEMA said it will continue making effort to ensure Nigeria is not flooded, as the country is in the valley neighboring 8 African countries of Benin, Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Chad, Cote d'Ivoire, Guinea, Mali, Niger, which poses great danger to Nigeria in the event of release of excess water from their dams. In Abuja, Ilyasu Yakubu, NTA News.
You're watching the news on NTA International. We'll take a short break. More reports in a moment. Stay with us.
I promise that I shall remain committed and serve faithfully. I also invite all to join this enterprise to make our beloved nation into its better self. We can do it. We must do it. We shall do it.
You're welcome back. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, reminds political parties yet to submit their party agents to comply as the November 11th governorship elections in Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi states draw closer. A statement by INEC National Commissioner for Information, Sam Olumekun, indicates that only 55% of the expected total of 189,180 polling units agents have been uploaded, and that the portal will automatically shut down at midnight on Tuesday, 10th October. Similarly, the online accreditation of journalists, which commenced 24th August, will close on the 22nd of October. So far, only 45 media organizations have applied for accreditation. INEC encourages all interested media organizations to take advantage of the remaining window to apply on or before the deadline of October 22nd, as there will be no extension. On security issues, INEC is concerned about the spate of insecurity and violence, including clashes among supporters of political parties and candidates in the forthcoming elections. Federal government says the ongoing restructuring of the NPower program will bring about the employment of 5 million young Nigerians in 5 years. This follows the temporary suspension of the NPower program. The statements by the National Program Manager, NPower, Akindele Igbuwalo, says the restructuring and transformation of the NPower program is expected to birth an expanded program to reach beneficiaries aged 18 to 40, beyond the previous age limit of 35. He added that the action has become necessary to give room for a detailed investigation into the operations of the NPower scheme. Recently, the ministry discovered instances of beneficiaries who participated or whose participation has elapsed since 2022 but have remained on the payroll, And in addition, some beneficiaries do not report to their places of primary assignments as required, but still receive monthly stipends. Some have other jobs and have left this bracket, but are still benefiting from the scheme, while those who truly worked are not being paid. These instances have made the need for a thorough audit to also look into claims of those being owed for up to 8 to 9 months to ascertain the veracity of their claims. The ministry appeals to Nigerians to understand the rationale behind the temporary suspension of the program, as this is to earn the confidence of the people in the expanded and restructured program for transparency and accountability, as the ministry continues to make concerted efforts to put the nation on the right footing, ensuring that no one directly or indirectly unleashes suffering on Nigerians. Nigeria needs your wealth of experience in driving the economic, social and political development of the renewed hope agenda of the present administration. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, stated this in a message at a Crystal reunion organized by members of the Accounting Department class of 2008 of the Ahmadu Bello University Zaria in Abuja. Olayinka Ojo reports.
They graduated 15 years ago from the Accounting Department, Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, with great ambition to contributing their quota to national development. And in a world full of opportunities, they found their purpose and thought it is wise to reunite again.
They should not japa. We should all stay back in Nigeria and make Nigeria great.
Up till now, I think we are short of facilities in terms of lecture, theater. We believe the alma mater or the alumni can come in and at least save the situation and assist the department.
Reminiscing on the good old days as undergraduate students of the prestigious institution and how far they have come today, with some among them trailblazers in their chosen career, they believe it is time to give back to their alma mater.
It gives us the opportunity to compare life in reality with what we had on campus and to see who needs help that can be helped and those that can help others.
We thank God for the gift of success. We thank God for everybody. We're here to reconnect and also network.
For me, this is just it.
One interesting thing is that the bond of unity and love they shared as classmates did not die with the many years apart. One of them, a foreign student back in their days in school, a Nigerian and resides in Niger. Amadou Al-Hassan attended the reunion.
I can remember before coming to Nigeria, people tell us many negative things about Nigeria. But when I came, I stayed with them during our stay in Zaria. They cherish us.
While reiterating federal government's commitment to developing all spheres of human endeavor, representative of the Speaker of the National Assembly, Ojema Ojotu, says, aside ensuring they meet some basic infrastructural needs of the alma mater, as a class, they should see how they can also assist other classmates who are not doing so good.
The love, the care, the unity demonstrated here tonight, sustained. Whatever you think National Assembly can do for this end, we are disposed to it.
The reunion, which members say will linger in their minds for a time to come, also featured presentation of awards. Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
The Federal Road Safety Corps FRSC has refuted a report that the Corps Marshal is seeking the permission of the federal government for its personnel to bear arms. In a statement, the Assistant Corps Marshal, Corps Public Education Officer Bisti Kazim says the erroneous statement credited to the representative of the Corps Marshal at the passing out parade of cadets at the Nigerian Army Training Center, Kotongora, Niger State, does not reflect the current position of the Corps Marshal or the management team. Members of the public are therefore advised to take note. President Bola Tinubu has expressed his condolences to the Ogumbajo family and the entire Ijebu-Ode community on the passing of their patriarch and elder statesman, Dr. Christopher Oladipo Ogumbajo, who made landmark contributions as one of Nigeria's most celebrated corporate lawyers. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngalale, the President joins the family, colleagues, friends, and well-wishers of the late legal luminary in mourning the loss of a distinguished figure in Nigeria's legal and business community, whose multifaceted roles as an industrialist, corporate lawyer, and philanthropist had left indelible impressions in these important fields as he empowered and mentored numerous professionals from Nigeria and beyond. The President prays for the peaceful repose of Pa Ogumbanjo's soul and divine comfort to his family and loved ones over this irreparable loss. Let's now get a look at Monday's weather prospects for Nigeria and other world cities. That concludes the news on NTA International. Many thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adigunlo.